Hello everyone. Again I have come with a new video. This is the second class of set. Today I'll discuss about set operations. Different type of sets operations are there. First operation, that is union. If we take two sets, suppose A is the first set and B is the another set, then the union between A and B is denoted by this sign. This is the sign of union, and A union B is equals to, the formula is X such that X belongs to A or X belongs to B. This is the definition of union between two sets. Now I am taking one example, then it will be clear. So basically, union between two sets A and B, that is X such that X belongs to A or X belongs to B. That means common and uncommon element we have to consider. Suppose I am taking one example. Suppose A set contain 1, 2, 3 and B set contain suppose 2, 3, 4. Now if I calculate A union B, then we have to take all common element and uncommon element. Here common element between A and B, that is 2 and 3, and uncommon element in the A set, uncommon element is 1, in the B set uncommon element is 4. So A union B contain 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this way easily you can calculate union between two sets. Now I will discuss this operation by using the Venn diagram. If I draw the Venn diagram of A union B, for that first we have to take one rectangular box. This rectangular box will represent the universal set. Suppose the universal set is denoted by capital S. Then in this universal set, we will take two sets. One set is capital A. For the capital A, we will take one circle, and for another set, I will draw another circle. So in this way, for two sets, A and B, I am taking two circle. Now A union B means we have to take common and uncommon element. So this is the common portion and these are the uncommon portion. So all portion will belongs to the A union B set. So this is the A union B Venn diagram. So all element lies between A and B contained in A union B. Now I am coming to the next operation. The second operation is that is called intersection. Intersection between two set is denoted by A. This is the intersection sign B. And A intersection B is equals to X such that X belongs to A and X belongs to B. So intersection means we have to take element, those element belongs to A set as well as in B set. That means we have to take only common element. So A intersection B means we will take only common element. One thing you have to observe, that is in the A union B, I have written X belongs to A or X belongs to B. Here or I have taken, and in the intersection I have taken X belongs to A and X belongs to B. And means intersection and or means union. So when or will be there, that time union is there, that means we have to take common and uncommon element. And when intersection is there, that is we have to take only common element. Now I will take one example and I will explain this. Suppose I am taking the similar example, like A set contain 1, 2, 3, B set contain 2, 3, 4. Now if I calculate A intersection B, then we have to take only common element. So what are the common element between A and B? Between A and B, there are common element 2 and 3. So this is the A intersection B. Now if I draw the Venn diagram of this intersection, then in this way, first I have to take one rectangular box. This rectangular box will represent the universal set S, and here I'm taking one circle for the set A and another circle for the set B. Now A intersection B means we have to take only common portion, only common element we have to take. So this is the common portion between A and B. So this portion will represent the Venn diagram of A intersection B. Now I'm coming to the next operation that is called difference. The third operation that is called difference. There are two type of difference. Two type of differences are there. First type of difference that is called A minus B. A minus B means the element X which belongs to A set and X does not belongs to B set. So A minus B means we have to take the element which belongs to the A set and does not belongs to the B set. Similarly, another difference is there that is called B minus A. B minus A means we have to take X such that X belongs to B and X does not belongs to A. That means A minus B means from the A set we have to subtract the B portion, then the remaining part of A, that will be A minus B. B minus A means from the B set we have to subtract the A set portion, then the remaining part of B will be the B minus A. Now I will draw the Venn diagram, then it will be clear. Suppose I am taking one rectangular box. This rectangular box will represent the universal set S. For first set I am taking one circle. For the another set, I am taking another circle. Now, A minus B, that means from this A set, we have to remove the B set portion. Then, what is the remaining part? Remaining part of A is this portion. So, this portion will represent A minus B. That is from the A set, we have to remove the B set portion. That is this common portion will be removed. So the remaining part will be the shaded portion. So this shaded portion will represent A minus B. Now I'm coming to the another operation that is called B minus A. B minus A means from the B set, we have to remove the A set portion. Then the remaining part is this part. This part is the remaining part, that is from the B set. If you remove the A set portion, then this common portion will be removed. Then the remaining part is this shaded part. This is the B minus A. Now I will discuss this one by taking one example. Same example I am taking. Suppose A set contain element 1, 2, 3. B set contain element 2, 3, 4. Now A minus B, that means from the A set, we have to remove B set portion. Then what is the remaining part of A? A set contain 1, 2, 3. So from this set, if we remove the B set part, then 2, 3 will be removed. So what is the remaining part of the A set? That is 1. So 1 is the remaining part. So A minus B, this is equals to only 1. Similarly, B minus A, that means from the B set, we have to remove the A set part. B set contain 2, 3, 4. So from this set, if you remove the A set part, that means 2, 3 will be removed. Then what is the remaining part of B? That will be 4. 4 is the remaining part. So B minus A contain only 4. So in this way, easily we can calculate A minus B and B minus A. Now I will discuss another operation that is called symmetric difference. This is the another part of the difference, that is symmetric difference. Operation number 4, that is called symmetric difference. Symmetric difference between two set. Suppose A is the first set and B is the another set. Then symmetric difference between A and B is denoted by A symmetric difference B. This is the sign of symmetric difference, and this is equals to, this symmetric difference is equals to A union B minus A intersection B. That is, from the A union B, if you subtract A intersection B, then you will get A symmetric difference B. If I draw the Venn diagram for this portion, then it will be clear. This is the universal set, one rectangular box. This is denoted by S. For the A set, I am taking one circle. For the B set, I am taking another circle. Now, A union B, that means the whole part of A and B. From this portion, you have to subtract the common portion, that is A intersection B. You have this portion you have to subtract. Then the remaining part of A union B, that is this side portion. This is the remaining part. If you subtract A intersection B from the union part, then this will be the remaining part. So this part will represent A symmetric difference B. That is, from the union portion, you have to subtract the intersection portion. And already we have learned this part is called A minus B, and this part is called B minus A. So A symmetric difference B, this is equals to, another definition you can write, that is A minus B union B minus A. That means if you take the union of two differences, that is A minus B and B minus A, then that will represent A symmetric difference B. Now I will discuss this one by taking one example. Suppose A set contain element 1, 2, 3 and B set contain element 2, 3, 4. Now we have to calculate A symmetric difference B. So this is equals to, formula is A union B minus A intersection B. Now A union B is equals to, we have to take all common element and uncommon element. That is, this A union B will contain 1, 2, 3, 4 minus A intersection B means only common element we have to take, that is 2 and 3. Now from 1, 2, 3, 4 we have to subtract 2, 3. Then the remaining part will be 1, 4. So this will be the symmetric difference between A and B. So in this way, easily we can calculate the symmetric difference between A and B. Now I will discuss different properties of symmetric difference. Property number 1, first property, A symmetric difference B, A symmetric difference A, this is equals to phi. This is the property number 1. Property number 2, A symmetric difference phi, this is equals to A. Next property, property number 3, A symmetric difference B is equals to B symmetric difference A. That means you can say that symmetric difference is commutative. Symmetric difference is commutative. That is, symmetric difference will satisfy the commutative property. That is, A symmetric difference B is equals to B symmetric difference A. Now I will discuss another operation, that is called complement. Complement, this is the another operation of set. Suppose A is the original set, then complement of A is denoted by A dash, or it is denoted by AC. And this is equals to the definition is X such that X belongs to universal set and X does not belongs to A set. That is, A complement means we have to take the element which belongs to the universal set but does not belongs to the A set. That means A complement means we have to consider all elements except the A set element. A complement means we have to take all element except the A set's element. That means easily we can write the A complement means universal set minus A. That is, from the universal set, if you take the difference of A set, then you will get the A complement. Suppose I am taking one example. Suppose I am taking one universal set. That set contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and A set contain element 1, 2, 3. Now, if I calculate A complement, then A complement is equals to, we can write this line, that is universal set minus A set. That means from the universal set you have to subtract the A set element. So from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have to subtract 1, 2, 3. That is the remaining element in the universal set, that is 4, 5. These are the element of A complement. Now, if I draw the Venn diagram for this operation, suppose this is the universal set, one rectangular box, and this is the A set. Now, A complement, that means except this A, you have to take the remaining part of universal set, that is this shaded part. This will be the A complement. So A complement means except A, we have to take the remaining part of the universal set. That will represent the A complement. Now I will discuss different properties regarding this set operation. Properties of set operation, that is A union A, this is equals to A. That is, if you take the union between same set, then the result will be that set. Similarly, A intersection A, that is equals to A. Property number 2, A union phi, that will be A. Similarly, A intersection phi, that will be phi. That means union between A and null set will be the A set, and the intersection between A and the null set will be the null set. Now, property number 3, A union universal set, that will be universal set. A intersection universal set, that will be A set. Now, property number 4, A complement, then again if I take complement, that is A complement to the power complement, that is equals to the original set A. Next property, A union A complement, but A intersection A complement, that will be phi, that is null set. Property number 5, A union B is equals to B union A. A union B is equals to B union A. Similarly, for intersection also we can apply this property, that is A intersection B is equals to B intersection A. This property is called commutative property. This is called commutative property. A union B is equals to B union A. This is the commutative property for union. A intersection B is equals to B intersection A. This is called commutative property for intersection. Now, next property, A union within first bracket B union C. is equals to within first bracket A union B union C. This is called associative property for union. Similarly, we will get the associative property for intersection also, that is A intersection within first bracket B intersection C is equals to A intersection B within first bracket then intersection C. This is called associative property for union and associative property for intersection. Now I am coming to the next property, that is called distributive property, that is A union B intersection C. This is equals to A union B intersection A union C. This is the one type of distributive property. Another distributive property is there, that is A intersection B union C is equals to A intersection B union A intersection C. These two properties are called distributive property. Now property number 8, if A and B are disjoint. If A and B are disjoint means the intersection between A and B is phi. If A and B are disjoint, then we'll get A intersection B is equals to phi. That is, there is no common element between A and B. So if A and B are disjoint, that means there is no common element between A and B. If I draw the Venn diagram, so this is the universal set, that is S. Suppose this is the A set and this is the B set. So this is the Venn diagram of disjoint set. So here it is clear that there is no common element between A and B. Now I am coming to next property, that is called property number 9, and this property is called De Morgan's rule. This is the very important rule, that is De Morgan's rule. There are two types of De Morgan's rule. First one is A union B whole complement is equals to A complement intersection B complement. So here A union B whole complement is there, and this is equals to, when we are taking the individual complement A complement and B complement, then this union sign will be intersection. Similarly, another type of De Morgan's rule is there, that is A intersection B whole complement. This is equals to A complement union B complement. This is also similar type. A intersection B whole complement is there in the left hand side portion. When we are taking the individual complement, that is A complement and B complement, then this intersection sign will be union. So these are the two important rules, that is called De Morgan's rule. So these are the all properties of set operation. Now I will take example and I will discuss one by one. This is the first example I have taken. S is the universal set. That set contain 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. A set contain X such that X belongs to N. X is factor of 6. B is the set contain X such that X belongs to natural number and X is a factor of 8. Now we have to calculate this information. So first I am taking A set. A set contain all natural number which are the factor of 6. So factor of 6 you can write one by one. 1, 2, 3, 6. These are the factors of 6. So these will contain these are the element of A set. Now B set contain all natural numbers which are factor of 8. So factor of 8, 1, 2, 3, not 3, 1, 2, then we can take 4, then 8. So these are the factor of 8. So in this way, A set and B set we have got, and universal set contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total 10 elements are there. Now first we have to calculate part 1. We have to calculate A union B. A union B means, already I have told, A union B means we have to take all common element and uncommon element. So here A set contain 1, 2, 3, 6, B set contain 1, 2, 4, 8. So first I have to take the common element 1, 2, and then we have to take the uncommon element, that is 3, 6. These are the uncommon element in the set A, and 4, 8. These are the uncommon element in the set B. So this is the A union B. Now part 2, we have to calculate A intersection B. Intersection means we have to calculate only common element. So we have to check what are the common element between A and B. So easily you can see that the common element between A and B, that is 1 and 2. So A intersection B contain 1, 2. Now part 3, we have to calculate A minus B. A minus B means from the A set we have to subtract the B set part. So A set contain 1, 2, 3, 6. From this set we have to subtract B set part, that is 1, 2, 4, 8. We have to subtract, that is we have to remove 1, 2, 4, 8 from A set. Then what is the remaining part of A? Remaining part of A, that is 3 and 6. So 3 and 6, these are the element of A minus B. Similarly, part 4, we can calculate B minus A. B minus A means from the B set, we have to remove A set element. B set contain 1, 2, 4, 8. From this element, we have to remove A set element, that is 1, 2, 3, 6 will be removed. Then what is the remaining part of B set? Remaining part of B set is 4, 8. So this is the B minus A. Now coming to part 5. Part 5, we have to calculate A complement. A complement means we have to remove the A set from the universal set. That is, the definition of A complement is universal set minus A set. That is, from the universal set we have to remove A set element. Universal set contain 1, 2, 3 up to 10, and A set contain 1, 2, 3, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 6 will be removed. Then the remaining part of the universal set, that is 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this will be the A complement. Now I'm coming to part 6. Part 6, we have to calculate A union B whole complement. A union B whole complement, that means we have to remove A union B from the universal set. That is S minus A union B. A union B already we have got. A union B contain 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 8. These are the element of A union B. Now if you remove this element from the universal set, then what are the remaining part of universal set? 1 is removed, 2 is removed, 3 removed, 4 removed, 5 is the remaining part, 6 removed, 7 is the remaining part, 8 removed, 9 is the remaining part, 10 is the remaining part. So this is the ultimate answer of A union B whole complement. Now I am coming to next example. Here, if A and B are two sets such that A subset of B, subset means actually A proper subset of B, that is A set is totally contained in the B set, then what will be the value of A union B? Here we have to calculate what is the value of A union B, and it is given that A is totally contained in B. So this is very easy sum. If you draw the Venn diagram, then it will be clear. So suppose this is the universal set S. Now here I am taking, this is the B set, one circle. Now A proper subset of B, this is given, A proper subset of B, that means A set is totally contained in B set. So within the B set, we have to consider the A set. So this is the Venn diagram of these conditions. Now, if you want to calculate A union B, then from this Venn diagram, easily you can say that A union B means actually this will be B. B will be the answer because A is totally contained in B. So B is the larger part between A and B. So A union B will be the A union B will be B. So B is the ultimate answer. Now I am coming to question number 3. Here Xi denotes the universal set. So universal set contain 1, 2, 3 up to 9. A set contain 2, 4, 6, 8. B set contain 2, 3, 5, 7. Now here we have to verify De Morgan's rule. De Morgan's rule means already we have learned what are the De Morgan's rule. I am writing. De Morgan's rules are, first rule we have learned, that is A union B whole complement is equals to A complement intersection B complement. And second rule, that is A intersection B complement, that is equals to A complement union B complement. Now for this example, we have to verify these two rules. Now I am verifying the first rule. Verify means both left hand side and right hand side we have to verify. So to verify the first result, first I will calculate A union B. A union B is required. So A union B means common and uncommon element between A and B. So common element 2 is the common element between A and B, and uncommon element in the A set, that is 4, 6, 8, and in the B set uncommon element 3, 5, 7. So this is the result of A union B. Now left hand side portion is A union B whole complement. This is the left hand side portion. So A union B whole complement means we know that from the universal set we have to remove A union B. This is the definition. This is the definition of complement. A union B whole complement, that means from the universal set we have to remove A union B. So in the universal set contain 1, 2, 3 up to 9. From that set we have to remove 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 5, 7. So what are the remaining part of the universal set? 1 is the remaining part, 2 is removed, 3 is removed, then 4 is removed, 5 is removed, 6 removed, 7 removed, 8 removed, and 9 is the remaining part. So this is the left hand side portion. Now I will check the right hand side portion. Right hand side expression is A complement intersection B complement. A complement means we can write universal set minus A set according to the definition of complement. Intersection B complement means universal set minus B set. Now from the universal set, if you remove the A set part, then what are the remaining parts? So 2 will be removed, 1 is remaining part, 3 is remaining part, then 4 will be removed, 5 is the remaining part, 6 will be removed, 7 is the remaining part, 8 will be removed, 9 is the remaining part. Intersection. Now from the universal set you have to remove B set part, that is 1 is the remaining part, 2 will be removed, 3 will be removed, 4 is the remaining part, 5 will be removed, 6 is the remaining part, 7 will be removed, 8 will be the remaining part, and 9 will be the remaining part. Now we have to take the intersection between these two sets. So intersection means we have to take the common element. So here common element between these two sets, that is 1 and 9. So from the left hand side we have got 1, 9, and from the right side we have got 1, 9. So in this way easily we can write left hand side is equals to right hand side. So this first property, first De Morgan's rule is verified. First rule is verified. Now I will verify the second rule. Second rule, for the second rule, what is the left hand side portion? Left hand side portion is A intersection B whole complement. This is the left hand side portion. According to the definition of complement, this is equals to, we can write xi, that is universal set, minus A intersection B. Now from the xi, that is universal set, you have to remove A intersection B. A intersection B means we have to calculate A intersection B. So between A and B, what is the common part? Common part is 2. Now from the xi, you have to remove 2. So what are the remaining part? Remaining part is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the left hand side portion. Now I will calculate the right hand side portion. Right hand side portion is A complement union B complement. A complement means, according to the definition of complement, this will be xi minus A. Union B complement means this will be xi minus B. Now xi minus A means from the universal set you have to remove A set part, that is 2, 4, 6, 8 will be removed. Then remaining part 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Union xi minus B means from the universal set you have to remove 2, 3, 5, 7. Then remaining part 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. Now we have to take the union of these two sets. That is, we have to take common and uncommon element between these two sets. That is 1, 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9. So now easily you can see that from the left hand side and from the right hand side we have got the same result. So we can write left hand side is equals to right hand side. So second De Morgan's rule is verified. So in this way easily you can verify De Morgan's rule for any. Now I am coming to the next sum, that is sum number 4. Using set operation, find the LCM and HCF of 12, 15, 20. Now for this, first we have to know that what is the meaning of LCM and what is the meaning of HCF. LCM means, we know that LCM means that is called lowest common multiple. And what is the meaning of HCF? HCF means this is called highest common factor. So LCM, we have to calculate LCM. That means we need to calculate the multiple of 12, 15, 20. Then from that multiple we have to take out the common multiple, and from that common multiple we have to take the lowest value, and that will be the LCM. And HCM means first we have to find out the factors of 12, 15 and 20. Then we have to calculate the common factor. Then from that common factor, we have to find out the highest value. Now, first I will discuss how you will calculate the LCM. So for the LCM, we need to calculate the multiple of 12, 15 and 20. For that, I'm taking three set, A set, B set and C set, where A set will represent the multiple of 12, B set will represent multiple of 15 and C set will represent multiple of 20. So here I have taken A, B, C, three sets containing multiple of 12, 15, 20. So A set is equals to, this will contain multiple of 12, that is 12, then 24, then 36, then 48, then 60, then 72, then 84, then 96, 120, dot dot. So these are the multiple of 12. Now B set is equals to, this will contain multiple of 15, that is 15, 30, 45, then 60, then 75, then 90, then 105, then 120, comma dot dot. Similarly, C set contain multiple of 20, that is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, comma dot dot. Now we have to calculate the common multiple. Common multiple means we have to calculate A intersection B intersection C. So if you calculate A intersection B intersection C, then easily you can see that common portion, that will be 60 is the common part, then 120 will be the common part, and dot dot. So these are the common part. Now LCM means we need to calculate lowest common multiple. So from this common multiple, we have to take the lowest value. That lowest value will be the LCM. So here lowest value of the lowest value from the common multiple, that is 60. So this 60 will be the LCM of 12, 15, 20. So record LCM is 60. Similarly, we have to calculate HCF of 12, 15, 20. For that, we need to calculate factors, because HCF means highest common factor. So first we have to calculate factor of 12, 15 and 20. Then we have to find out the common factors. Then from that common factors, we have to take the highest value. So now I'm taking three set which will represent the factors of 12, 15 and 20. So here I have taken D, E, F are the three sets containing factors of 12, 15, 20. So D is equals to, this is the set containing factor of 12. So this set contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. Similarly, E set, this set will contain factors of 15, that is 1, 3, 5, 15. Now F is the set which will contain factors of 20, that is 1, 2, 4, 5, then 10, then 20. Now we have to calculate common factors. So for common factor, we need to calculate D intersection E intersection F. So if you calculate the intersection among D, E, and F, then what is the common part of D, E, and F? Then there is only one common part, that is 1. 1 is the common element in D, E, and F. Now we have to calculate highest common factor. Actually here only one common factor is there. So that will be the highest common factor. So HCF will be 1. If there are more element in the D intersection E intersection F, then from that elements you can take the highest element. So in this way easily you can calculate the HCF and LCM between given numbers by using set operation. Now I am coming to next example. Here uh, let A and B are two sets. If A intersection X is equals to B intersection X is equals to phi, and A union X is equals to B union X for some set X, then show that A is equals to B. Now we have to prove this by using by using different set properties. A is equals to B, this relation we have to prove. So we will start from A. A is equals to, we can write A union phi. This type 1 property already we have learned. A is equals to, we can write A union phi. Now phi is equals to, it is given A intersection X, B intersection X is equals to phi. So here in the position phi, we will take B intersection X. Here within bracket, you will write the reason why you are taking, because this is given A intersection X union B intersection X is equals to phi. So that's why in the position at the position phi, we have written B intersection X. Now we can apply distributive property. A union within first bracket B intersection X is there. So you can apply distributive law. That is, this will be A union B, then intersection A union X. So this is the by distributive law. So A union B intersection A union X, this we can write according to distributive law. Now A union X is equals to, it is given A union X is equals to B union X, that we can write. So A union B intersection at the position A union X, we can put B union. Here within third bracket you will write the region A union X is equals to B union. Now B union X, this is equals to, we can write X union B according to the commutative law. A union B will remain same, then intersection B union X, this is equals to, we can write X union B according to the commutative law. So here you will write by commutative law. So by commutative law, B union X is equals to, we can write X union B. Now again we can apply distributive law. That is, we can write A intersection X union B. This we can write by using distributive law. So here you will write by distributive law. Now A intersection X is equals to, it is given phi. So phi union B we have got. So here you have to write the region, since A intersection X, this is equals to, it is given phi. Now phi union B, this is equals to, according to the property we can write. So in this way we have got A is equals to B. So this is the required 2. So thank you everyone. This is the second class of set. Again, I will take one class regarding this set. In the next class, I will discuss different word problems. That means how you will solve word problems by using set operation. So thank you everyone. Like this video if you are satisfied with this video, and subscribe this channel for more videos and click the bell icon for regular update. Thank you everyone.